Hello everyone. I didn't do a starting soon screen because I was late. But welcome in. Barbarino, you're first. You say that you used to love them. Is there a reason that you don't anymore? It felt really weird to start without a starting soon screen. And yeah, we can thank Yet It Is for bringing this into our life today. I'm super excited to make these. I can't remember if I made them before, but I found this recipe in Discord from literally 2018. So maybe we made them on stream? With some gravy, it looks like. Interesting. I don't remember that anymore. How's everyone else's week going today? And then while we have the pasties baking in the oven, we're going to make a couple other things too, because they take like almost an hour, it looks like. I'm also going to go get a soda because I'm feeling a little sleepy today. I'm not going to lie, I just woke up from a nap like an hour ago. But happy Wednesday, my people. Don't mind the aircon noise. I think it's a ginger beer kind of day. Spice up our life. Ginger always gives me like a natural energy kick. Hi, Cookie. How's it going? How's your week? I'm actually happy that we're streaming inside today because I woke up in the middle of the night last night and we had a bunch of smoke rolling again. So it like smells like wildfire outside. So we're hanging out inside today. We're not doing any grilling. How did I like the peach apricot crumble? It was so freaking good. Like the tanginess of the apricot and then the sweetness of the peach was such a good contrast. And yeah, all we did was like pour a little bit of cream into it, not even whipped up. And like when the cream mixed with like the fruit syrup juices in the crumble, my God, really, really good. So yeah, Samo dropped one off to Chef when he picked me up. But we had a power outage on Monday at work. That was like the first time that's ever happened, apparently. Literally, the winds were so strong that it just blew down a power pole and it was like hanging on another power line. I've never had power go out. Like, we have a generator at work, but I've never had it where like half of this stuff goes out and then the other half of this stuff in the building was still on. I think it kicked out the generator or something, but yeah, it wasn't good. First time ever they've had to like close down the whole restaurant and send everyone home and cancel reservations. But should be good to go today. Samo's there already. FaceTimed me this morning. Chef wanted to make sure that I was gonna make the pasties right because he's from Cornwall. So we can't mess this up today. This was my title when I did it before. Beef Cornish pasty with mushy peas and homemade beef gravy pecan pie for dessert. That was so long ago, like 2018. And we're just making it again now. That's seriously the last time we've had it. That's crazy. Thanks for looking it up though. Also, cheers guys. I had a busy morning of like literally just cleaning the house. I did an hour of dishes, hand washing in the sink, vacuumed, did the bathroom. What else? I picked some grapes this morning. Not sure if you guys saw my YouTube upload, but I filmed like a shorter YouTube than I usually do. I was like looking through the grapes yesterday and saw that a bunch of them are starting to turn purple. And they're like starting to burst open. So before all the animals and insects eat it, I picked a couple. Now I don't know what to do with them all. Just munch on them. Hi Blondie, how are you? Thank you for the follow, friend. Extelate. How's everyone else's week been? Other than that, it's been pretty chill. We had a really nice day off yesterday. Beautiful weather out. We went to the beach first thing at like 9 in the morning. I was swimming for like 40 minutes in the lake. It was awesome. So I was pooped yesterday. I don't know if you guys ever do that, like spend time in the water like that, but holy smokes, swimming really takes a lot out of you. So we went home after that, had a shower, cleaned up, and then went to visit a winery and creamery where we serve their cheeses at work. They're all handmade. Super, super good. I posted some photos, I think, in Discord yesterday. I don't remember anymore. Crystal. That's how you say it, Crystal? Now I'll have to remember this. And hi, Mish. How are you doing? So yeah, we did a wine tasting and a cheese tasting on the patio. We did, I think, 5 or 6 wines we tasted from Upper Bench Winery. And then 3 of the cheeses we tasted alongside with it. So fun. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Guys, hope you're all hanging in there and having a good summer. Okay, let's get into what we're making today. Hopefully, Yet It Is stops by. She or they requested this. I try not to like assume people's genders by how we chat together on stream. But how long ago did she or they request this? This was 7 months ago, guys. Cornish beef pasties, please. We get to complete that one off the list today. And there's only like 5 million more still to go. It's okay, guys. We're getting there. Okay, menu. Also, you were blessed with 2 streams this week thanks to Samo. I hope you guys all enjoyed that bonus stream. Okay, so menu redemption today for Yet It Is. Cornish beef pasty, which is a baked hand pie with homemade short crust pastry. We're going to fill it with beef, potato, rutabaga, and onion. This is a very traditional version from the UK. But I also saw that there's some history of it being brought over to the US. Like she said that her family has some traditions making it in the Midwest. I've never visited there before, so hopefully we can learn a little bit about how it came over to North America as well. Had a really chill stream. I have such a nice view of the vineyard. It is so good. I love it, Cookie. Try to spend as much time outside there as I can, honestly. Okay, and then to go with our pasty, we're going to make a side of garden salad. I just have some veggies to use up. Maybe I'll pick a little bit of lettuce from the garden before all the caterpillars eat it. They've destroyed it. I'm so sad, honestly. And then while everything is baking as well, we're going to make a vanilla ice cream base. Sam bought an ice cream maker during Prime Days. So I'm going to test it out, let you guys know what I think of it. He's like obsessed with the ice cream maker we have at work because it works so good. But yeah, I'll let you guys know how it freezes or churns up the ice cream if it passes my test because I'm pretty picky about that kind of stuff. Here is the recipe to go along with what we're making today. It has both the pastry and the filling. One note, these are traditionally made with beef skirt steak, but I can't really find that in the stores here. We went to 2 different stores, couldn't even find flank steak to switch out for this skirt steak, so I just got tri-tip instead, and we'll slice that up or chop it up nicely to put in there. We're doing our best, people. Hi, Helquin. How are you doing? Welcome in and happy Wednesday. Okay, so before we start with the recipe, I think we should learn a little bit of the history of this so we know exactly what we're making. Who's had this before? I have had it, a legitimate one, when I was visiting Cornwall in, oh my gosh, I think it was like 2014 or 2013. I was in Europe backpacking around. They are delicious. I went to a pasty shop the day that I went surfing. Best snack ever, honestly. And some places will do different fillings. Like, I think there was chicken ones. There was like kind of savory sweet versions with like fruit maybe and pork, like pork and apple. I'm trying to remember. But let's read, learn a little. Let me know if you guys have any other info on this. You've had them, Bob, in a traditional English pub in Chicago. They even brought the bar over from England. That is so cool. That's commitment. You know they're serious about their pub food then. Okay, this is what it says. Pasties date back as far as the 13th century, at which time they were devoured by the rich upper classes and royalty. I wonder if it's because of the butter in it. Balls fast. That's the best dad joke ever. Thanks for the Annie. Oh no, he's here. Ah! It's illegal to laugh out loud in Hawaii. You have to keep it to a low ha. I love it. And then Annie comes in with the 5 gifted subs. Ah! And somebody's calling me. Help! SOS already. He called you and now somebody's calling me. How weird was that? Help! Annie, how are you doing? That was way too many coincidences. Did our timelines just like mesh completely? Thank you for the 5 subbies. You gifted a total of 1,220 over the years. My goodness. Okay, let's welcome in these 5 people. Constlet 222, John and Sue, Extra Casey, Hein Rickromo 03, and Pixielicious. Welcome to the kitchen crew, my wonderful people. And Annie, thank you for bringing them into our life. Hopefully they stop by today and learn a little. Okay, so we're thinking that the upper classes ate pasty because of the butter in it. Maybe. Gotta love the extra cheese. Cookie, thank you for the 997 as well. Is that what it means? Extra cast? Oh yeah, it does. Extra cheese. They belong here then. Okay, so the fillings of the pasties were varied and indulgent, often containing venison, beef, lamb, and seafood like eels, flavored with rich gravies and fruits. See, the fruit part comes in. Hello, Tucson Tamale Company. How are you doing today? It was in the 1700s and 1800s that pasties became popular with working class families in Cornwall, but they no longer contained the rich and decadent fillings of the 13th century. Instead, they consisted of a simple shortcut pastry cased with potato, swede, and onion, all common vegetables, and occasionally some cheap pieces of meat if available. This is how the humble pasty was born. That's the humble version, not the indulgent one. Thank you, Scooter, for setting it off the hype train. Happy 66 months on your 43rd birthday. Happy birthday, Scooter. Thanks for stopping by on it. I wish that I could make you a cake today. That's something I like to do for people if I have time. If I know them, I love to bake people cakes for their birthdays. I'll like sneakily ask people what your favorite flavor is. I'd be like, surprise. But alas, that can't happen today. But we can ask Scooter what her favorite cake is for her birthday. I think that's something special to know. Tucson Tamale says, how's Canada treating me? So far, so good. A little smoky lately. We've had some wildfire smoke blow in. A couple fires nearby. Not too close, though. We're okay. But the weather is beautiful. I honestly can't complain where I live. All you have is work, Scoots. That's life, right? Annie, the adapter you ordered from Amazon didn't fit. You were gonna work on your kitchen floor today, so now you had to order a new one. At least you got overnight shipping. We don't get that really anymore. Hopefully the new one fits. Have you done any other work yet? But that's like the first piece that you need. What kind of beef are we using? We're using a tri-tip. We're gonna cut up a tri-tip roast. It should adapt. It has one job, Bob. Okay, more info on what we're making today. As mining boomed in Cornwall, pasties became a go-to meal for the miners' crib breaks. They were an all-in-one meal that could be taken down the mines and eaten without cutlery. The wives of Cornish miners would lovingly prepare these all-in-one meals to provide sustenance for their spouses. Sometimes fruit was cooked into one end of the pasty to provide a sweet treat at the end of their meal. See, how cool is that? That's fair, Mish. You can complain about fella. Wait, she tried that recipe? It's good? It honestly sounded so good when I read through it this morning, Scoots. Listen to this. A miner's wife would carve her husband's initials into his Cornish pasty so that he was able to distinguish his from all the others. We gotta write like an S and O in one of them. And then for my chef, an L and an H. That would be funny. A good pasty could survive even being dropped down a mine shaft. How would they get it back? Is there someone at the bottom? They'd like wheel it back up in the thing. What? The crust, or like where you crimp it shut, because it kind of looks like a calzone if you guys don't know what we're talking about. But don't call it that, okay? The crimp serves as the handle, so the means of holding the pasty with their dirty miner hands without contaminating the filling part. So they'd hold onto the crust and then discard it after. Their hands would be covered in arsenic, and so they would avoid arsenic poisoning by just throwing out the crust after they touched it. How cool is that? Michael, how are you doing? All good if you're late. I was also late today. I didn't even have a starting soon screen. I was 5 minutes late, but you know what? I said it's okay. We can't all be perfect. As long as we show up, I think that's what matters most. Ground turkey sauteed up with Kalamata olives, cucumber, feta cheese, cherry tomatoes last night, almost like a hot turkey Greek salad. That sounds fresh and delicious and very healthy. Okay, that is the info that I know about the Cornish pasty. And now we gotta know about how it came over to the States. So Cornish miners immigrated to work in mining areas in Michigan's Upper Peninsula and Wisconsin during the 1840s. The miners brought their tradition of the pasty, and then that became a staple in their new communities in the Midwest. How cool is that? I love when that happens. And thanks, guys, for starting off the stream with the hype train. I got a new emote. I'm going to share it in chatty. I like that. Spill the tea. I really like that one. We always spill the tea. Okay, so Sam FaceTimed me from work this morning when Chef was there. Asked me, what veggies are you putting in this pasty today? I said, potato, rutabaga, and onion. That is the traditional veggies to go into the pasty. But yet it is said that the way that her mom would make these, less expensive version. She would use just minced beef, so ground beef, instead of cutting or chopping up like a steak version of beef. And also some finely diced carrots for that little bit of sweetness to contrast the other veggies for like especially kids to eat this. Rutabaga is kind of a weird one for kiddos, so maybe that would be an easy switch out. Just a thing that I wanted to let you guys know. Hello, this username does not exist. Her culinary mastery, cook with Kate, supreme connoisseur of flavorful creations, distinguished artisan of culinary delights. and grand magician of tasty transformations that ignite passion and whimsy in every bite. I mean, I hope that's what happens when people eat the food I make them. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? Imagine doing a garden salad on the ice cream. I just had to separate it in the different lines. That will never fit on a pin, Bob. Dang it. Okay, let's get started. I'm into this. We got to make the crust first. Awesome recipe linked. We'll write out what we need to do. And I'm pretty sure like the fillings, they just get cooked in the pastry. We don't cook anything. It's just more like prepping and then assembling and then putting it in the oven. I'm intrigued. I don't know. Let's read through the recipe and see. Your back's hurting? Dang. I've had that a bit the last few days too, like my bottom, like right hip. Not the best, but we'll make it through. What about a beefish corn pasty? That sounds a little crazy, Scarlett. But similar enough to what we're making. It's like after you turn 30, you just deal with back pain every day. Okay, it says this recipe will make 6 and some pasties. Do we feel like 6 is enough? I guess first we have to see how much the filling ingredients are. So 400 grams of good quality beef skirt steak cut into cubes. 8 is enough? Well, if anything, I would just double it, but I feel like 6 is probably enough. That way, Sam and myself, we can have at least 2 each. 1 goes to chef for sure, and then 1, if it's 6 and some, what does that mean? 7? I don't know. Holy shit. Sorry, I just got tsunami warnings for Alaska right now from my weather app. Corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, chicken sausage, barbecue chicken, spinach Caesar salad, local farm veggies, Baylor raspberries, peach pie with vanilla ice cream. I'm coming over, Melissa. That sounds delicious. Okay, how much beef do we have? I think we're only going to make 6 and some. We have 1.1 kilos, so that's definitely more than enough. This is what it looks like, by the way. Texas tri-tip. $33 for that hunk of meat. 1.1 kg. Not bad. $30 a kilo. That's what we're going to cut up. Looks good, hey? Took me a while to like stand there, look at all the different steak cuts and stuff and be like, I think it's that one is going to be the best. Okay, so writing down the list. Pasty. First things first, we're going to make the short crust. Easy peasy. Flour, butter, salt, water. That is literally it. Oh, and they put a bit of lard in. I liked this recipe because it was lard and butter. That usually makes the best pastry. Some people browse books in bookstores. Kate browses cuts of meat. In a bookstore? I might. Okay, after we make the pastry, it says we're not going to do what they say because waiting 3 hours to roll it out is going to be too long for this stream. I usually do a minimum 1 hour resting your pastry in the fridge before you roll it out after it's made. So short crust, and then we'll rest 1 hour. This will give us time while it's resting to prep all of the filling ingredients. We got to cube the beef. We'll weigh it all out too. We have the scale up there. Follow everything. The potato. Who knows what rutabaga is? I was worried about maybe not being able to find this in the stores, but Didn't have an issue. And then we'll take out some onion. This is our rutabaga. It's also known as a Swede in the UK. I just got a little one. It said we only needed 150 grams. Onion. Yeah, similar to turnip, but they did put a note. The vegetable to use is the yellow fleshed Swede. So see how it's really yellow? Not the version of like a white turnip. Because sometimes you can get white turnips as well. Not the same at all. So they said in North America, this is called a rutabaga. It was a Winnebago. Oh my gosh. Just grabbing the potatoes. I'm storing them in a different spot to see if they maybe will last longer. And then just some yellow potatoes. They said you want a waxier potato than starchy for this. So I noted that as well. So our potato, the ruta, and the onion, dice that up. They'll do salt and pepper to taste, and then we need an egg wash for the top of the pasty after everything is tucked together. So egg wash, and then what does it bake at? 500 bad jokes. That's amazing. Yeah, there should be fireworks on the screen when we hit the 500. I love it, Caretaker. Bake at 165 degrees Celsius in the fan oven. I don't have a fan oven. Also, I have to convert that. $330. I think I'll just do a 350. So we're gonna bake it at 350 Fahrenheit for 50 to 55 minutes, or until it's golden. Told you it bakes for a long time. Remember when we got the convection oven, ended up returning it? Yeah, the Innova steam oven. Terrible. But we do still have the other convection oven, the Caldo Bake. It's just in the storage locker back in Alberta. We didn't bring that one because I didn't know if I would even have space for it. But yeah, the Innova oven, the first rendition of it was not good. I don't know how it is now. Haven't even gone back and read any reviews. But the thing about that first one, Annie, was it didn't even hold like a standard half sheet pan. So unless you bought the Innova sheet pans, you couldn't really use that oven, which was weird to me. It just did not work the best for us. Yeah, that's bad, right? That's kind of unfortunate that they like locked that into their own brand, because otherwise maybe I would have kept it, right? Okay, that's all the stuff for the pasty. Sounded scarier than it was, honestly, right? I think once we start prepping, easy peasy. And then our salad, we'll just do some greens picked from outside. I have tomato, cucumber. Maybe we'll put a bit of like shredded carrot into it for sweetness. And we'll make a vinaigrette of some sorts. And then if there is time, which I'm sure there will be, we'll make a vanilla ice cream base from the recipe that I use at work. All right, guys. Let's get started. They wanted to make more money, right? Like typical brand like that. That's capitalism, baby. Okay, short crust pastry first. Let's get out a bowl. I always use the same white bowl because it's nice and shallow and wide for mixing pastry. Just gonna give it a wiperoo. because the metal bowls always leave like a mark on the bottom. There we go. Misha's here still. Chook ball, is that how you say it? Let's get the scale. Look at this, guys. The scale exists. Let's see if it'll turn on. It feels so weird compared to our other scale. Bob. Holy smokes, it's turning on, people. Okay, so for our short crust pastry, 500 grams of flour. It says it's important to use a stronger flour to hold the gluten and produce a stronger, pliable pastry to hold all of the delicious things inside when it bakes. Sam used it. He seemed pleased. Yeah, it sits really nice. I like it. And it goes up and down really quick. That is interesting. That almost sounds like futsal. Like a soccer version of an indoor sport like that. But I wouldn't know. Have never looked it up. Chook ball. Okay, flour, salt, butter, cold water. Little bit of lard. Samo opened the big new flour bag the other day with you guys. I was glad that I did not have to load this up. A ball in an indoor court with a small elastic rebounder. Interesting. That's cool that it like was made to limit injuries. It stopped at 444. That's a good sign. Oh my gosh, $4.99. 501. Yeah, angel number. I've seen it a couple times this past week. We're on track. Now we'll do salt. Just 1 teaspoon. Don't forget that, otherwise your pastry will be very bland. You've always liked 1111? Me too. And you just saw 333. There's something happening. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Teaspoon of salt. Oh, I need you guys to talk me out of us getting the vineyard kitty that lives outside. I really want to get this one cat from our friend that wants us to take it. But at the same time, I don't know if we should. Because I think I would be too sad if something happened to it. Can you talk me? I've already talked myself into it. Okay, we're going to take this off for now. Just put that to the side. We don't want to cut the butter and then have it dunked in the flour if it's not the right amount. So we will measure the butter and shortening. Maybe just on a lid. Mercury retrograde starts tomorrow. Yay! Right when your brain is already like decided. Mish, thanks for the 1 bit. Okay, how much butter? 125 grams. Let me grab my knife. Both of them. 125 grams of butter, and then 120 grams of lard. Misha's is stocked up. Holy, we were 2 grams off. That was awesome. Okay, so we'll cube that up. Nice small pieces to work into the flour. And then the lard I always keep in the freezer so it stays nice and cold. It's like a lot softer than butter. This is what we're using. Is it kind of dark in here, guys? There. You decided you weren't getting a kitten from your mom's cat? And now she's 8. Yeah, that's what could happen, hey? Okay, let's see if we can get this one. Perfect. I really want to take the black one home that has blue eyes. I want to call it Salem. I don't even know if it's a boy or a girl. But it was super cute. What is a pork fat donkey? What is going on? Who's following? Anna Blue. Thank you for the follow, friend. Welcome in. Yet It is here. Woohoo! This stream's for you, friend. I'm glad you made it. I hope you're having a good day. We're kind of just getting started, so all you missed was the intro. Thanks for bringing this into our life today. Done with the scale for now until we get into prepping the veggies. And now I'm going to cube this up just on a board so it doesn't stick. And Hardly Toasted is here. Good to see everyone. That will make it very easy to work into the flour. But first, before we pour that in, we're gonna give it a mix. Just to mix the salt in with the flour. Nice, Hardly Toasted. You know I always appreciate the lurkers. I love that. Yeah, when you guys like ask for recipes that remind you of your childhood. Bringing it out of the flavor memory bank. I would only wish that I could give you one. That's all that's missing there today. Brenna33, thanks for the follow. Okay, done with that. Get her gone. Annie's testing us in chat. I didn't know if it was a legitimate question, but it is. Hi, Rocco guy. How are you doing? That hard sound of me cutting the lard, that's exactly what we want. Especially on a hot day like we have here. You don't want this to get melted at all. The more chunky we keep it, the flakier and better the pastry is gonna turn out. Hello, Brenna. Welcome on in. Okay, awesome. I love how small those are. We'll rinse the knife after. Let's scrape this in. Why does that look like way more? Like this was supposed to be less. Is lard lighter than butter by weight? It honestly must be. So intrigued right now. And then the only other thing we'll need is some cold water. So usually I have that nearby waiting because my hands are going to be dirty after mixing this all up, and then we can just pour it in. So 175 milliliters. Get the sink running. Use our measuring cup. Wait, you finally got it? Lard ass? Wait, I have to scroll up the one that Annie asked first. What's a pork fat donkey? It went right above my head. Hi, friends. Hi, I miss you. I hope you're having a good day. Are you working? Guys, Kelsey and Shalais are from our workie. Your mom said your great-grandma bakes exclusively with lard and that it was the best baked good she's ever had. You've only ever had shortening or margarine. So yeah, tender flake is lard and then Crisco is shortening. But I've honestly always found that that lard makes a better product than shortening, which is made from vegetables. I want to make sure I'm like right in the middle here for the 175. Because the thing is, you actually want as little moisture in this pastry as possible. That's how it stays really flaky. You're at the bar cleaning up? Nice. Lunchy was over 45 minutes ago. Love it. How fun is that? And thanks, Annie, gifting the sub to Shanae. I mean, everyone has personal preference, though, of what they use, right? That's what I always say. So now they say, like, even in the recipe, if I read the directions, rub the 2 types of fat lightly into the flour until it resembles breadcrumbs. Then add the water and bring the mixture together and knead it until the pastry becomes elastic. So this is going to be a little different than pie crust when we make it. It says this will take longer than normal pastry, but it will give it the strength that's needed to hold the filling and retain the shape when it bakes. Because all the veggies and the meat is raw inside when it bakes. So we'll work the pastry a bit more with the gluten so it'll hold everything inside and we won't get any holes bursted. It says this part you can also do like in a food processor. Might be easier. My hands are a little sore, so maybe I should have, but that's okay. I always find too, if you do this part by hand, it just tastes better. You know it's homemade. It also says, what else? Rough puff. What's a rough puff? I don't know if I've ever made that. Can be used. So not puff pastry, but like a rough puff pastry. I would say that's like usually how my pie crust turns out. It's like a rough puff where there's so many layers. This looks like Samo in the crumble when he was mixing up the topping. We've been doing some baking this week. Sounds like the Wild West, rough puff. Get the rough puff. The crumble was so good. We have a little bit left in the fridge. Freaking delicious. Like the fruits that they're growing at the farm are some of the best I've tasted in like years. He did tell me that the oven was smoky, and then you know what I said, Annie? I was like, it's okay. We'll clean it together on our days off, and then did that happen? And so then what did I do today? when he went to work because I was like, well, I'm using the oven today. Maybe I should clean it. Bob, yeah, did he tell you about the surprise third one at home? That was the only one at home left. He brought the one to the farm where he got the fruit from before he picked me up from work. And then when he picked me up at work, he dropped off the other one to the kitchen and the boys. And that's when the power was already out. So things were a little bit nutty. But I think it made everyone's day. Okay. This is looking more breadcrumb-esque. And see how nothing really stuck to my hands too much? Mine was supposed to be a surprise. That didn't really happen. Yeah, the windstorm was so crazy by work that it knocked a power pole over. So bad to the point that like the generator didn't even come on. White Dove, thank you very much. Another long-term resub for today. 65 months, guys. Welcome in. And good to see you today. Okay. Usually I do this next part. That's why I kept the spatula here with this so my hands don't get super wet at first. And then we'll slowly add this in. I usually do like maybe 3/4 first and then the rest afterwards. Literal witchcraft. It's never a good thing either, like when the power goes out at a restaurant, because like think about all the fridges, guys. And especially when you don't know when it's gonna come back on. Like we literally had to stop work, whatever we were doing, get everything back into the fridges as fast as possible to try and preserve all of the food from going bad. It was pretty crazy. But then I finished like an hour and a half before I should have. Because, well, there's nothing to do. Okay, add the rest. The bakery has a generator. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the generator. I think there was just like such a crazy surge that it even kicked that out. That's the thing, right? Is if you don't open the doors and the coolers, it will keep the chill on everything. But it's when you start to open them and like when you have 6 people working in the kitchen, that will add up very fast. How much cold escapes from those areas. You always end up with glove hands. Yeah, those are the steps that I take. And like Sam has to make pastry at work every day for quiche on our lunch menu. So I've taught him how to do this at work on his own now, and he is very good at it. So it just takes a bit of practice and feel for what you're working with. And like now I'll kind of like just loosely almost like fluff it around to get the dry bits incorporated more until we need it. But since we can be a little bit more rough with this, I'm going to start kneading it sooner than later. So now I'll like start to press it together. You can like fold it into itself. It's working good. We'll do a couple folds and then we'll wrap her up and put her in the fridge to rest. What that resting is going to do is help the gluten, now that we've worked it all, It's gotta relax. Otherwise, there's no way that we'll be able to roll this out. It'll be so elastic that it'll just spring back together. So that's why it's very important to always rest your pastry when it says to. Same with pasta dough, stuff like that. Anything that gets rolled out, make sure you leave enough time to rest. I mean, ideal is making this like yesterday and then letting it rest in the fridge overnight. So that looks nice. I can like see a couple layers and strands of gluten. So we'll get that wrapped up. Just gonna wash my hands now. We're done with the really dirty part. And then while that is resting in the fridge, we'll get the filling stuff together. Yet it is. Do you want me to make one with some carrots finely diced into it for you? I think I want to do that with one of them. And he says, ban the gluten. I know, and this was even requested at a time where my body didn't want me to eat very much gluten. I'm still definitely sensitive sometimes, but that's okay. I think all of the other good things in this will balance out the gluten. Same with Bob. I wonder if you could make it with gluten-free flour. You probably wouldn't get the same crust. The same pastry, hey? That's the struggle. Is that the one from, is it called Loopy Whisk? The one gluten-free site? A gluten-free naan bread. I think I've seen that recipe. She's all wrapped up nice and tight. Look how good that looks. And then I usually just flatten it into a disc. Like that. I think the carrot would be good with all that stuff. I know it's not like the most traditional, but I think it would be yummy. I really like beef with carrots. Okay, Listy. Short crust. Rest. 1 hour. Let's set the timer. Dunny. The gluten-free naan bread's probably super soft. I have seen some of these like easy pita recipes with yogurt and I think baking powder. They seem to work good. Okay, next one. 400 grams of good quality beef cut into cubes. So it doesn't say what size to cut the beef cubes into. I'm gonna assume maybe 1/2 inch size. You won't want to go too big because then it's gonna poke through the pastry when we bake it. Maybe even a bit smaller than that. Let's get a cutting board out. We'll get into this tri-tip. And then for the fillings, I'm gonna say maybe group the potato and rutabaga together and then leave the beef separate and the onion separate. So it says layers of vegetables and meat on top of the pastry, adding plenty of seasoning as you go. And then other ones that I've read say like kind of strategically layer your stuff so that like the sharp corner of the potato is not going to stick through the top. Just a couple things to think about. So I'll get a few containers ready here for all the filling ingredients. And that will make it like kind of a nice little assembly station later. I'm pretty sure we'll have 2 sheet pans full of pasty when we're done this. Quite a bit. But that's okay. This is one of those things, like if you're gonna make it, make some extras. It's special. We haven't had this since 2018. I just turned up the music a bit. So we only need 400 grams of this, and then the rest we can save for something else. This is 1.1 kg. And then it also said we don't want too fatty of a part of the beef. So this side is definitely less fatty on the tri-tip. Like the muscles kind of separate here. We'll get it all cleaned up and then we'll cube it. 478 sounds good to me. We're going to clean some of that off anyways, which is probably going to be like 70 grams worth. Now that, let's put in a container into the fridge. We get a yummy little tri-tip roast up tomorrow after work. Look at that, though. I love the marbling in tri-tip. And also the flavor of the fat in that marbling is really good too. It's not chewy or anything like that. Ouch. Hit my finger on the fridge shelf. Okay, so let's trim off any sinew first before we cube it up. Still feels a little dark in here. And then yet it is, you said your mom would make this with like minced beef, right? Which I think would be such an easy version. Just buy some ground beef, put it in the middle. Good to go. Get all of that fat cap off. And I did try to buy a piece of tri-tip that had a small fat cap like that. If we're gonna trim it off, there's no point to pay for it. Whereas like maybe if I just roasted this chunk of meat or grilled it, I would leave that on. Yeah, it probably is like a traditional family thing on your end, which I think is so cool. Okay, just a little bit here. Get rid of that. And I guess we can probably get rid of the scale for now too. Conserve the battery. Oh God, I'm confusing it. Oh gosh. Okay, now we're gonna cut against the grain. Oh, look at that little piece of sinew there. I'm glad I saw it. Cut against the grain. Go with the thickness we want in the pasty. So yeah, I did maybe 1/3 of an inch thick. Maybe even less to start. I honestly think this marbling in the beef though, once it's mixed with the veggies inside and then seasoned, holy smokes. It's gonna like make its own meat and veggie gravy with everything. I don't think this is gonna be bad at all. The meat feels really nice and soft too. Not gonna be one of those tough steaks that sometimes you get. Scoot, you're driving home? Nice. So far so good. We got the pastry made and it's chilling in the fridge. And now we are dicing up our beef. So I'm thinking I'll kind of layer up 2 together and we'll make slices. And then dices. The other thing we have to think about, like when we go to eat this later, once it's cooked, is like if your chunks of meat are super big and then you go to bite into it, everything's gonna come out in like one bite, right? But if we cut things a bit smaller, then we can get a bit of everything in each bite. I think it was easier to not layer them up. And like other than salt and pepper, there's no other fancy seasonings in this. I'm in the zone. This is slicing up so nice. The onion I'm gonna dice really nice and fine. So we don't just get like onion bites. You know, Samo would not accept that. I forget how much the pasty was when I got one in Cornwall, but I'm pretty sure it's like an inexpensive thing. It's like almost along the lines of like us going to a bakery and getting a sausage roll or something like that. Okay, just this little chunker left. Beef. Done. Deceiving the amount. It says we'll get like 6 and some pasty from this. I guess we'll see. I'm gonna wash this stuff up and then we'll switch to our veggies next. Yeah, right? There was this one time I made the turkey meatloaf from Ina Garden recipe on stream. And the amount of onion was so much that like all of us could barely eat it. I was like, I'm never making the recipe again. Annie, you only recognize 17 out of the 25 founders in the channel? That's interesting. Just rinsing off our meat board here and getting it bleached. While we finish up. I'm trying to keep my sink somewhat organized today because it just gets messy so quick. Okay, that's going in the fridge. Name and shame the AIDS. Bob. Next one, our little rutabaga. This ginger beer is giving me life. That's true, yeah, when people change their names. Okay, 150 grams of this peeled and diced. I don't know if that's gonna be all of it, honestly. I did try to choose the smaller one. Annie. Okay, so we probably won't need all of this. What if I just cut it in half to start? And then we'll have to peel it and tip and top it. So we will lose some weight there. But wow, that's actually super nice. So that's how yellow it is on the inside. How can we describe the taste of this? It smells like a cabbage, but has like the texture of like a carrot potato and tastes like a turnip. I think that's the best way to describe a rutabaga. Okay, so that's 300 grams. Let's see what we get once it's like peeled. I don't know if we'll lose 150 grams, but we could always dice up extra. That's okay. And then we will wrap up this other half. And that will get roasted with the rest of the tri-tip tomorrow. Right? It like smells like a cabbage, texture of like a carrot potato, and then it tastes like a turnip. All the little rooties at the bottom. They don't call it rutabaga for nothing. Tastes like an overgrown radish mixed with a potato. Kind of like that, yeah. Sometimes they have a bit of sweetness. Like, I'm excited to try this one because it looks like very small and fresh. Whereas, like, I think the older they get more of that, like, mature flavor of turnip. So hopefully this one has some nice sweetness. Get the dirt off of the counter. Mmm. In cream sauce with peas. I'm intrigued by this. We cut it a little bit bigger than the beef. I don't even know. I don't even know what size to cut everything. I'm thinking if it bakes for like 50 minutes, we shouldn't cut it too small. Because we don't want it to go mushy in there. In Bavaria, they eat thinly sliced white radish with their Hefeweizen. That sounds nice. One of my favorite like radish turnip things from a restaurant that I've made was a tuna tartare or tartare. So you just did like albacore tuna diced up on like a little turnip slice with some fancy oil. I guess I don't have to get that away. I'm not at work right now where I need like perfect cubes. I'm already trained. It's Uncommon Wolf. How's the day? We're all hanging out, getting a little bit of dinner prep while Samo's at work. Not even that nice outside today, so I'm glad to be here. It's been pretty decent. Nice. Other than me feeling just a little sleepy today, yeah, things are going great. I had such a good, productive morning. You won a pork belly at work? That's amazing. Okay, I guess we don't really have to weigh this one, but just for curiosity purposes, let's, as we dice it. And then I'll try to keep it on one half, and then the potatoes on the other half. And then the other container can have the onion and maybe a bit of carrot. It's horrid and humid where Annie's at. I mean, not saying that it's not hot out, but yeah, the wildfire smoke is gross out there today. So I'm glad I went to the beach yesterday. Do you keep your scale chilled? No. Chill out, scale. It was way cool. You went swimming today with your client? It was nice. Yeah, yesterday we were at the beach at like 9 in the morning, and I was the only one swimming out of, I think, 4 other people at that time. So peaceful. It's like you got the whole place to yourself. Okay, potato time. Do we peel them? It says peeled. Okay, we'll follow the recipe. So we gotta leave a little bit of room for the peel to come off. Weigh these out. That's 300. Is there one more smallish one? 509. Okay, we'll roll with those. Get them diced at the same size. Can't be pushing your weight around. I like when you guys get into it with them. We're almost at 500 bad jokes. We're making moves, people. Chrissy4231, thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if these potatoes are gonna turn brown, but let's hope not after we peel them. Find out the waxy potatoes don't oxidize as quick as the starchy ones. This is a waxy potato. A yellow flesh. You know what we didn't talk about earlier, though, when we were going through the history and stuff of the pasty, is that there's two different styles of, like, crust crimping that we can use, depending on the area that it's from. I should look that up. Maybe we can do both of them and have fun. Sounds correct. I'm pretty sure that's what I've read before. Clem! How are you? Thank you very much. We're almost at 4 years. Next month, holy smokes. 47 months in a row with Clem. She says, hello, I hope you're doing well. I hope the same for you. We are just rolling right along today. We have a pretty simple recipe that we're following, but I'm not super familiar with what we're making. So we're taking our time, we're learning, and we can thank Yet It Is for asking us to make this today. Yes, yeah, the food baby. Almost old enough for preschool now. Oh, man. Okay, so we're going to dice our potato same size as the rutabaga. Don't want to crimp my style, Annie. We're loving the bad jokes today. It's what keeps us going. Okay. Let's do this. Nice. Got back from grocery shopping and you didn't get rained on this time. That's always a bonus. I don't remember the last time it really rained here, honestly. It feels a little weird. Monday? Oh yeah, Sam said that there was a little bit of showers here at home, but we didn't get anything at work. It was more of like a dust storm. It was crazy. It was like I was just cooking lunch service. Didn't really look behind me out the window for a bit. I had my back turned while I was plating a bunch of stuff. Turn around, go to the sink to wash my hands, look out the window, and it's just like the freaking Sahara Desert flying across the fields. I was like, oh my god. And like 30 minutes later, the power line fell. It was crazy. Like 100-kilometer-an-hour gusts. And a bad flash flood for you? What? Your street was spared. That's good. But yeah, for the other people, like, that's so unfortunate. Would I do a recipe that I had to slow cook for 12 hours? Love to see me cook one of your favorite meals, but not sure how the stream would work if it's mostly a slow cook. I mean, we could. That one's kind of up to you. I probably wouldn't do a 12-hour stream anymore like I used to. Just because my job is a lot more intense than what it was before. Unfortunately, I just don't have time, like 12 hours to take out of my day anymore. But we could work it out. Like, I could start it early and then maybe we could do like 6 hours. Do the last half of it and we could all see it come out together. Something like that. We got the dad jokes on deck today. That's when you use at school. I used to work in a circus. It was intense. I've used that one with camping too. It was intense. Sounds a lot like camping. Don't get me started. Just using a bench scraper to pick up these sticky potatoes. They're like two different colors of yellow. How interesting. That might be extra. If anything, it'll just get turned into soup or something. We have our yellows diced. That's a good one, Bob. Outstanding in his field. Okay, next one. Some onion. Excuse me. I have some burpees from the ginger beer. I'm sorry. But the sugar is giving me life. The onion's starting to sprout, everyone. It was equal parts onion to swede. I couldn't do it, I don't think. I'm gonna quarter this and then cut out the sprout. On both sides. It didn't go green yet, though. So that's good. What does this all weigh? Yes, yeah, I used to be a baker. I made a lot of dough. Okay, that's actually not bad. It's like 180 grams instead of 150. Oh, and we still have to peel some of it off. So that'll probably be perfect then. And now we're going to slice and then dice these. Just thinking about how I want to do this, because I cut it in a weird way. So nice and fine dice on the onion. Not as big a chunks as the potato and rutabaga. Oh, it's a little strong. Trying to make me cry. I think that's what happens when it starts to sprout, though. Just turn that off, actually. Probably get rid of it. So I'm not going to weigh out the carrot. I'm just going to be over here trying not to cry. It's getting emotional, people. I'm just so happy to be here, you know? The worst is when the onion's so strong that you can't even see what you're doing anymore. This one's not quite there. It's like I'm chopping blind. Oh gosh. I made it through, but maybe just barely. That's one way to clear out the senses. Sometimes the onion is so crazy, it makes you feel cross-eyed. I'm happy that I don't really have to prep anything like that at work. Like, I haven't diced an onion or, like, peeled a potato in the last 3 months. The closest thing I've, like, had to prep is a sweet potato for one of my salads. It kind of feels weird. Yes, Shady Pines. Left-handed people are in their right minds. You better believe it. Okay, we got the onion. Let's get a little carrot. while our pastry is chilling. Then maybe we'll start getting our salad together. Gotta use this one up. And we're going to put some of the carrot into the salad too. I want to shred some of it in. So we will peel all of this. Why don't we do like that? That can get shredded into this salad. That way we have something to hold on to with the box grater. And then that we can dice up. Double duty, right? When the carrot starts to get floppy, you know it's time to use up. Use it up. Okay. This is also a good recipe to practice knife skills. Okay? There's like all sorts of different cuts that we've done. And like they didn't specify the size of anything, so I'm kind of just guessing as we go along. Julie N. Is that summoning niche? No, it's not. Her last name is a different letter. Nice little carrot cubes. I just have to make sure this pasty with the carrot gets labeled. Because if I give this one to Chef, he'll kill me. No carrots are traditional in it, but I think it's nice. Especially for Yet It Is, it's her family. Or their family made theirs like that. Okay. The onion made my nose run. Wow. Cube beef, potato, rutabaga, onion. We even did bonus carrot. We can mix up the egg wash now if we want. It just says beaten egg or milk even to glaze after the pastries are all built. There's the list, Annie. We are like over halfway through. Egg wash, baking time and temp, our salad, and then ice cream base. One egg should be good. I might just mix it with a bit of water to loosen it up. You're used to making fried rice and stuff, so you just dice everything. So you're good at chopping then. Excuse me. Crack this into here. We'll whip it up. This is actually an egg from Kelsey from our work, who was in here earlier in chat. I don't know if they're still in here with us, but that's from her farm. So thanks, Kels. So nice and yellow. Carrots are tricky to dice. It's so funny how like vegetables are all round, but then why do we try to cut everything square? To me, that is so hilarious. Okay, so I usually mix the egg by itself until everything is all one. You don't really see any egg white or egg yolk loose. And now you can add a bit of water. And that way it won't be too stringy. My god, how is there a fly in here? Sam and I have killed so many black flies these last couple days. I thought I got rid of them all, and one just flew into the kitchen here. I've had the doors and windows closed all day. It's over. It's doing the weird thing where it's just gonna buzz around my feet really slow and be annoying. I don't know where it went. Because we don't cut corners. Squares taste better, yeah. Okay, so that's good to go. We just need a pastry brush for later, but we can keep that in the fridge. What's next? Salad stuff? I suppose. We still have a bit to wait for the pastry resting. There's like 20 minutes, so why don't we get the salad together? And then we can roll right in to the pastry and then assembling the pasties. Easy mode. I'm hoping that the pasties will be assembled and getting into the oven within the next, half an hour or so that they're already baking by the time Sam is done work. Okay, I'm gonna go out, clip some lettuce off of our plants. Hopefully not find too many more caterpillars that are eating it all. But I thought I would give them all a good haircut and then see if it'll regrow again. So I'm gonna pop out really quick. You guys will hear me, but not see me. That's okay. The marmots are not eating any of my stuff, which I'm very happy about. It's the white, moths that you see around, the cabbage moths. And then obviously they found my nice lettuce plants and then they laid all their eggs in it. Almost a losing battle. Uncommon wolf. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Don't go anywhere. Still smells a little smoky out. Like a bit of that red tinge in the air. But it doesn't smell as strong as it did this morning. Okay, I got the wasp and the bird bath here beside me, so I'm sorry if I kind of freak out. Remember when my bowl flew away last time? That might honestly still happen again. I'll put it in the planter. Ooh, there's earwigs in it too. Bane of my existence, honestly. I don't want any earwigs in the house anymore. If it's not one thing, it's another, hey? Guys, I found another caterpillar. Oh lordy, it's pretty windy out right now. Yeah, my bowl would have for sure blown away. I did not think it was that windy out today. This is almost as bad as the other day. It's actually kind of nutty. I'm going back inside. Guys, that was crazy out there. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, we're back. Look at our little bowl of lettuce. Now we're gonna dunk that in some cold water and some apple cider vinegar. Make sure no buggies and stuff are in there. Then we'll chop it up It's like a small bowl of greens with a bunch of veggies is what it's gonna be. I'll definitely say though, it's almost like too hot here to grow good lettuce. The sun burns it almost. That's why the tips of the leaves get a little browned. But we're trying. I had to do a test because I've never grown anything here before. Did I try a stronger SPF? I just use 30 SPF. The thing that we do is we just don't stay out in the sun for very long. That's all. It's like minimizing your sun contact is the best way. But I have a really nice mineral sunscreen that I picked up that's made in Canada. It's interesting to put on, but it works great. Okay, so that's all swished around. We can like pick off the kind of not so nice parts. Imagine if you could put sunscreen on the like veggies. That got on a sunburn. Okay, I think those were the worst ones. He showed you the peppers. Some of them are starting to turn red already, but they're like, they feel hollow. They're like pre-dried on the plant. So I don't know if I should just pick them all while they're green and then let them ripen later on. Let us out, it says. Okay, that's all rinsed. Oh, there's a little more. And I'll pat that dry. I can probably even reuse this bowl. And then we don't have to make extra dishes. Well, I already did an hour of dishes this morning, and that was enough for me on my day off. How often do they get new workers in the kitchen, Annie? I would say not often, or at least not this year with Sam and myself being there. But like I've heard stories from some other coworkers saying like, yeah, previous years it was not good. I mean, other than our couple of dishwashers that ended up leaving, we have found some new ones already, so that's good. But that was kind of the most stressful part so far. In like a regular restaurant that has higher turnover, you might honestly be hiring someone like once a month. You'll do the dishes if you can have some food? I'll totally accept that. I'm here for the barter system. Okay, that's everything. Look at all this stuff we washed off. Gross. Gross. Now we'll dry it off. I'll just pat it in between the towels. The thing with the dishwashers is most of the time they're just young kids. So they don't really care about washing dishes that much when they're like 14, 16 years old, right? So they don't care about just like leaving a job and finding a new one. Yeah, like Uncommon Wolf said. The pay is good. Like we pay our dishwashers $18 an hour. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, usually a lot of like the cost of a restaurant, labor wise, is always having to retrain new staff after other staff leaves. It's so annoying. And like it just wastes so much time, right? When you have to keep retraining people. Okay, that's all dried. Definitely don't need any fuzzes from the cloth in there. And yeah, that is the other thing on Common Wolf is like most of the time, if you're starting in a kitchen without any experience, you will start mostly doing dishes and then learning to do other things on the side. Yeah, exactly. Like they'll make the vinaigrettes, they'll peel vegetables. Like our dishwashers pack up a lot of food for us and do like vacuum sealing, stuff like that. They each kind of have their own role, so that's fun. But there's only so much they could do at our restaurant because a lot of the food is very high end to the point where like if we tell them to do something, they won't understand how it should be done. So that's why like you have the chefs. Very crisp lettuce, I will say that, but I'm gonna say it's probably more bitter at this point. So we'll make sure to make like a nice kind of honey style vinaigrette. Maybe with some lemon to cut through the bitterness. But that's usually what happens when lettuce starts to get older, is the leaves will get bitter. But it's not bad, honestly. I've had way worse. Like radicchio is super bitter. That'll be good. We got a blood oak in here? How are you doing? Welcome. Annie! Thank you. Welcome in, Oak Oak. We're blessed by your presence. Okay, so we got our greens from the garden. Let's get some tomato, cucumber, and we have our carrot there. The cherry tomatoes we're using up from last week. All I'm gonna do now is just rinse the whole container under this sink because there's like little drainage holes under this clamshell. Get these all washed up. We probably won't use all of these. Like some of each color though will look really nice. Wow, that one is so soft it feels like it's gonna burst. That looks good. Now we'll slice this in half. You remember the day you cut chicken for grilled chicken? You would pre-cook for things like the chicken Caesar wraps. Your chef was like, who cut the chicken? You thought you did something wrong? You admitted it was you, and he was like, you thought it was a bad thing? That's how you want it every time. See? That is like something I've learned over the years working in restaurants. Is always like be willing to take the fall for whatever you do. Never try to blame it on someone else. And like most of the time, yeah, a chef is going to try to trick you into thinking you did something wrong, but actually you did it right. That was like the first time that I cooked pasta in culinary school. It was the first one, even in the class, to like do it and offer. I was like, yeah, I'll be the first one. I was already working in a restaurant for a bit of time. The instructor was like, who cooked this pasta? And like the whole class went quiet. I was like, it was me. And he's like, this is perfect. Everyone come over here and try this. I was like, oh my gosh, phew. So funny when chefs do that though. Oak, you're slowly doing better, little by little. You got therapy getaway in August. Oh, cool. Oregon coast? I hope you enjoy it out there. That's been one of the most magical places that we've traveled. Tranquility. Ah, thanks for the follow. Okay, the salad's slowly getting more and more colorful. This is like the smallest version of a salad we've ever made on stream. Least amount of greens ever. Get some cucumber. What should we do with this? Sometimes I don't want a salad that's filled full of lettuce, though. I'm sure you guys can also attest to that. Yeah, Annie, you're a big salad eater. That's funny, Uncommon Wolf. And it's the things like that you'll remember for the rest of your life, right? So after this, we'll shred the carrot, guys. Loads of cuke, tomato, and avo. Cucumber and tomato for me, as long as I have those two things in the house, I'm happy. And usually carrots too, because I love to snack on carrots. Okay, let's shred this up. Oh, nice cookie. What type of microgreens do you usually use? We typically have like 3 types of microgreens at work. Right now we have pea shoots, sunflower shoots, and maybe like a mustard green. You haven't even heard of the term microgreen? So think like this, Annie, but grown in like seed trays. Like that. So like broccoli sprouts, stuff like that. But we use them at work to basically garnish like every single plate. And then every plate or dish you use a different microgreen on, depending on what it is, because they have different flavors and textures. And yeah, there's someone local here that grows them all. So we try to support them that way. It's awesome. Yeah, alfalfa sprouts in sandwiches are like top tier. Turkey Havarti sando with alfalfa sprouts. Yes, please. Okay, don't shred my finger, so I'm gonna stop there. It's Johnny Rodden, hello! You're remembering the gorgeous view from our deck, Sam. Do we get fireflies out here? You know, I haven't really stayed up late enough and spent time outside to even know if we do. But that's a great question. I wonder if we get fireflies. That's a lot of carrot. Wow. That's okay. Nice crunchy sweetness. Might even just make a Maggi dressing. That is so much carrot. I think I might only use that amount. When you shred stuff up, it grows by 1,000 times. If we get fireflies, they're usually more of a dusk than nighttime thing. Yeah, I remember that from camping as a kid and seeing them come out when you're like waiting for it to get dark when you start in the fire. Pack that up for tomorrow. Okay, time for some dressing. I got a little carried away. I've seen people call them lightning bugs. I like that term. Okay, what kind of dressing? Let's go over to the oil and vinegar bin. Thinking this salata, vinegar, some olive oil, and then maybe just some sunflower oil, a neutral oil. Since I'm going to be giving the pasty to my chef, I'm not going to use the peanut oil in the dressing because he has a peanut allergy. I'm going to minimize the risk of contact there. So I found this at the store before. This is like a German seasoned vinegar to make dressing delicious. Olive oil, neutral oil. We're gonna go some honey and a little Maggi. Oh, and then Samo's special Taylor Fix. And we'll shake it all up in a container. Good to go. You always end up having to eat half of the carrots so it doesn't go to waste, and you're not even a fan of carrots? Really? You know a good way to store carrots in the fridge if you're not going to use them all is actually in water. Will keep them more crisp instead of them going bendy on you, if that's what happens. Do I even have room in here? I guess I can take the meat out. Trying to get the salad in so it stays cold. There. Okay, so whenever I make a dressing, I usually start with the acidic portion first. We'll put our vinegar in. At first I was like, how is the oven on? I never turned it on, but that was our timer for the pastry, so perfect. Perfect. I got kind of creeped out there. I was like, who turned the oven on? Nobody else is here. Did you see my face? That sounds good, Oak. Making a sweet and sour pickle from your leftover cucumber and carrots, like for a banh mi or something. Okay, now for flavoring. The Maggi. Add some umami to our life. We don't need a lot of that. We'll see if that's enough. Add some honey. Balance it all out. Especially for our bitter greens. We'll do like a tablespoon of honey. This seasoning is like a vegetable bouillon, I would say. That's what it's called in German. Tello Fix. This is so good though to season dressings. Do like a bunch like that. I don't know if that's too much, but we'll find out. And then we'll add our oils. You can also add a bit of mustard. Like Dijon mustard will help to emulsify this all together. Have you heard of jardinera? It's like Hello Kitty, but different. What? Giardiniera is like a delicious mixed Italian pickle that's like chopped fine, usually put on sandwiches. We've made it before on stream, I remember. I don't think it's possible to turn multiple words in English into words of fewer characters in German. Yuri, I wouldn't know. Please. I'm not held liable. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up. A British classic Who's Poppin' says, in the northern UK, you have pies instead of pasties. So they just take the pasty and then turn it into a pie instead for the north. Because if you guys don't know where Cornwall is in the UK, it's in the south. All shaken up. Look at that. Let's give it a taste though, see how we did before we pop it in the fridge. Make sure the honey's all mixed in too, because I think it's sitting at the bottom a bit here. Yeah, we did some history learning, Who's Poppin', about the pasty before we started the stream today. I think that's such a fun history to know about this food. Is like the crust. The crimp was basically the handle for the miners to hold on to so they didn't get poisoned. Maybe a bit more vinegar and Maggi, but otherwise it's tasty. Yeah, it's still good for all the newcomers, it's true. We always love learning. That was it for this bottle. Goodbye. I guess we gotta get some more then. Okay, shake that up one more time. Then I'm gonna put it in the fridge for now. Get rid of the rest of these ingredients. And it's time to roll out some pastry. I have the flour bin here just in case we need it. You guys talking about French fries in chat? I saw Nike's talking about poutine. Torturing me. Nice. The pastry is chilled. It's looking really good. Just give a wipe to this board. Do I want to roll it out on here directly? What does it say? Roll out the pastry, cut it into circles that are 20 centimeters in diameter. What? Those are big. Where's the tape measure? 20 centimeters? 2/3 of a foot? It's huge. So 8.5 inches. Basically, that's how big they'll have to be. The rounds. That big. It said 6 and some. Okay, let's do this. I'm using my board. I'm using my pastry board here. It'll just be easier because sometimes it likes to stick onto the wood. And then we gotta open this up because we're going large. It'll probably almost fill out the whole thing. How did the bike ride go from weeks ago? It was good. It was really good. The one that we streamed you're talking about? I mean, other than the massive hill going into Kaleden that we weren't prepared for. It was a great day of exercise. Okay, let's get our cup of flour nearby here, and then, ooh, gotta go track down the rolling pin somewhere. That's an interesting one. Feels like I'm rolling out quiche dough for Sam at work right now. Okay, I've seen this recently. I think it's this drawer. I win. Rolling pin acquired. Let's get this dusted with flour on both sides. So this isn't a pie dough, it's a short crust pastry. Might be one of the few times I've made this, honestly. I love the marble rolling pin because the weight of it really helps you to roll stuff out without putting too much effort into it. I can see as we're rolling it out, it's shrinking back up just a little bit, but not to the point where we can't continue with what we're doing. I think that's honestly to be had because of how we worked the gluten in this. Does it say the thickness to roll the pastry? No. It just says the size. So I'm going to say, like, typically pastries rolled to around 1/4 inch thick. Go with that. Give this a little swirl around so it doesn't stick on the bottom. Look at how nice and smooth this is, though. In the South, they make their pies with a puff pastry top and short crust bottom. Whoa, that sounds good. In the North, it's all short crust, including pork pies where they use lard. Yeah, this one has lard and butter in the short crust. We still have to look up how we're gonna crimp them once it's filled. I told you this was gonna roll out huge. That side's almost done. Whoa. Now I'm just evening out the thickness of the pastry all the way around. And I do that kind of by feeling over the whole thing. You'll feel the high parts and the low parts of where you're good and where you have to roll a bit extra. Should all feel the same thickness before we go to cut this out. This is seriously how I roll the quiche dough out for Sam at work. We make like 12 quiches a day usually. It's a wild mushroom quiche. But I have a little like round that I cut and then it gets pressed into a form to bake. Feels so funny. Deja vu of being at work. Okay, so they said 6 and some pasty. would come out of this. I think that's perfect. Yeah, yet it is requested this. How am I gonna cut this out though? Because like I don't have anything round that's this size. Maybe a plate? I might actually. I don't know if it's sharp enough though. Wait. What's this bowl? That's pretty close. Actually, that is basically it. It'll have to be like an 8-inch. I honestly don't know how we'll get 6 pasties out of this. I'm feeling at this moment that I still have to roll it thinner. That's the max thinness I'm rolling. Because the thing is if you roll it too thin, all of your stuff's gonna come out. It'll poke through. That's it. So what we get is what we're gonna get, I think. Where's my paring knife? Okay, so now we're gonna try to maximize the amount of pasties that we get. So usually when I start cutting rounds out, I'll go to the nearest edge that is also sort of rounded. So it all kind of works into itself. So we'll go like there. Because the goal is to not have to roll the pastry more than twice. Scat! Scat's on vacay, guys. That sounds amazing. Thank you very much, dude, for the tier 3 resub. Hello from vacay. I just had scallops, steak, and swordfish. I've only had swordfish once in my life in Italy, and it was so good. So good. I wish that we ate more of it here. That sounds delicious. Annie says, one of the founders that is subbed. And then Suki, going back to your note really quick before it leaves my chat. This is a marble rolling pin. I got it from the Bay once upon a time on sale for like maybe $20. Very inexpensive, but I love the marble because it stays cold, so nothing really sticks to it, and then it's weighted, so you don't have to put as much effort into rolling out your stuff. But this looks so good, guys. Let's get maybe a sheet pan we can use right now to just pile on the rounds as we're cutting them out. Yeah, it's not mythical Suki, just Suki. There's that. And I don't really care about this edge because it's going to get crimped anyways, right? Next one. And also see how this edge is a little bit thicker than the center. So like we could get away with doing that a bit. Sometimes it takes cutting the first one to see that as well. Okay, next one. So attach back to where we ended. Oh shit. Make sure you go all along the bowl. Don't just pave your own path with the knife. Yum. That's gonna get filled soon with delicious stuff. I think we're maybe gonna get 5 from the other rolling out of dough after this. But hey, maybe it will even be 6. This looks so nice, guys. I really think it's gonna turn out amazing. Okay, so since this is the last one and we can't fit any others, it doesn't really matter where we cut it out from. I don't know if you can tell just how smooth that is when I hold it up. I'm pretty amazed though. Now the next step, this shouldn't be too hard either because I didn't use a ton of flour, but if you use too much flour when you roll this out, it will be hard to re-roll it again because it won't want to stick together. So now we're going to layer this all back onto itself in like the most efficient way that we can to where we can roll this out again. The short crust might be a bit more forgiving than like a pie dough, but see how I'm not just like balling it all back together. I kind of layered it and now we can roll it back out. We don't want to overwork the gluten. Yes, we want it strengthened, but when you overwork it, that's when things become very tough. Pastry's hard to cut into, stuff like that. So we did our kneading before to make the dough. We don't need to re-knead it now. Wow, yeah, that actually came back together really nice. So now, because I'm only trying to get 2 more, I'm gonna try to roll it more like horizontally in this type of shape. So you can just go 1, 2. Rather than if we tried to roll it into a round again, you're not gonna get those 2 circles. You'll have to get 1 and then re-roll it again. So this is something that I've learned over the years. Can I roll this first together without it sticking? Let's see, before we add more flour. Okay, so try to roll it long if you can. We might end up only getting 1 more out of this. Let's see. Until you get 18 decks. What is that? And then the other part of when we re-roll it like this is that, yeah, we've worked the gluten again, so it's going to be more elastic now and will be tougher to re-roll. Yeah, we probably will only get 1 more out of this, so that's what I'm committing to for the thickness currently. I know D&D. I don't. I've never played it before. I say that I want to, but I'll probably have to retire, honestly. I'll probably have to not be a chef to try and find time to play that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. See how it keeps moving back together? That's the gluten. Okay, so lift this up. We'll just go right in the middle. Who in chat plays D&D? Or has played it before? Okay, we got 5. You guys want me to try to get 1 more out of this? We probably can. I just don't know the quality of the pastry. Maybe I can just do this. Kind of seal it back up like that and try 1 more. Not for many years. Like 20 years ago, Annie? Holy. Is this gonna come back together? That is the question. Maybe? Maybe if I do this. Okay, I think we'll luck out with 6. And then I think after this, we'll get the oven turned on. Look at the underneath. The top looked so perfect. So the oven can heat up while we get everything filled and crimped. And then they'll go in to bake. Samo should be on his way home. Nice, guys. Look at that. I might cut a little bit wider around this because I know it's going to spring back a bit when we lift it up. Oops. We'll roll with that part now. Especially after the second roll, you'll see. Once we lift it up off of the board. It like totally went smaller. 6 pasties ready to go. I think we'll keep this board for assembling them. Gives us a nice area. Just gonna get rid of the flour. And then read quickly about how to crimp. Online Magic the Gathering is way more fun. Well, that's good to know. Can't believe how crazy my hair is now after going outside to pick the lettuce. Wait, they have a guide to crimping. I didn't scroll down in the recipe enough. The recipe I linked is so good, guys. So they do, maybe I can say more like a braided style, where it's like rolled into itself, whereas like if I say crimped like a pie crust, where like you get those clear little like triangular edges, that's a different version. So brush the edge of the pastry with water, fold the half over the filling, squeeze the half circle edges firmly together. Push down on the edge of the pasty using index finger and thumb. Twist the edge. So yeah, braided, twisted. I know this crimping. Yes, I am very good at this. Very much in the style of like a calzone, guys, how you close one. When you've crimped along the edge, tuck the end corners underneath, and then it's ready to bake. Oh, they have a little YouTube video at the bottom of the article too. Okay, baking, 350 Fahrenheit. Oven is heating up. We will take our pastry off of there while it's heating. I'm gonna leave it over here by me on this side, and then I'm going to prep a sheet pan. Probably 2 sheet pans is gonna be needed for this 6. With just some parchment on it, or maybe even, I don't need parchment, if I use some silicone mats. Reminded you of the time you baked a pizza that turned into a calzone? Did it fold in half in the oven on itself? Yeah, I've had that happen in the wood-fired pizza. It's so sad when that happens. Like you go to put the pizza into the oven and the crust catches on the stone and then it folds itself over and the pizza's like upside down in the oven. Sad times, man. Like, well, I guess I'll just let this burn now until I can pick it up. Holy. Okay. Sheet pans are prepped. Save the paper. So we'll do 3 pasties on each pan. We'll make our assemble station in front, and we also still just need some seasoning, salt and pepper. We got our beef cubed, turnip, or sorry, rutabaga and potato. This is the potato, that's the rutabaga. Onion and carrot. You need a little dish of the water, like they said, for crimping and closing. Some salt and pepper on the side. And that's pretty much it, I think. It's assembly time. Our little water dipping container on the edge. And maybe before I start, I'm just going to take a really quick bathroom break so that I don't have to leave while we're doing stuff with our hands. I'll be back, guys, in a moment. Don't go anywhere. I'm back. You don't trust the cardboard circle when you make the frozen pizza? You'd have too many incidents trying to take the pizza out. Yeah, it just like buckles in half. Okay, let's switch to the cutting board. Our assembly area. Get this first one done. I'm not going to start with the last one that we rolled out because we'll let this rest a bit. Since this was the pastry that got the most work, it was rolled out twice. Let's start with some of the other pieces that only were rolled out once. Like the first one that we made. So I think we will fill it here and then we'll fold it over maybe this way or even this way, I think. And then crimp it like that. You just really have to go for the first one. And then I think from there it will be easy. So I think we want to do the potato, rutabaga or sweet and onion first and then the beef on top. Ah. Put like a little handful of everything. And then they said make sure you season really well. Right? The first one's always scary. It's like putting the first like pancake into the pan. Or waffle into the waffle iron. Some chopped onion. I think we'll season the veg by itself. And also season the meat. Never had the issue with waffles. Yeah, we have a pretty good waffle iron that it doesn't really happen with. But some other ones that I've used, it's like, yeah, the first one is terrible. This part is going to be annoying a bit for me, just like touching the raw meat. Maybe I can use some tongs. And then we don't have to get our hands dirty and wash them in between this step. So this is diced up tri-tip. They called for skirt steak, but I couldn't even find flank steak at the store here. So I thought this was going to be the next best thing. Like really nice beef flavor. Tender meat though. It's not going to be tough once it cooks in there. Yeah, I think that's good. Now a bit more pepper and some salt. I think if you wanted something magical, I would like sprinkle some beef bouillon like over the beef to season it. It would be delicious. Oh my gosh. Let's pour all the salt out. Okay, so that's the first one. I feel like that's enough filling. I'm kind of gauging it like how we would make a burrito or a wrap or something. So now, do I want to crimp towards myself? Maybe. We'll dip our fingers in the water and go along this half of the pastry, and then we'll fold it over. Nice. That is filled up. And now we'll press all around. And you don't want too much air pockets in where the filling is either. So try to get it nice and tight around the filling, like that. Go a bit tighter now. Holy! That looks good. You remember when I made orecchiette? I love making homemade pastas. Okay, and now we are going to start our like twisting, I guess. I'm gonna get this a little bit more flat so it's easier to work with. And then we also know it's completely sealed. So first piece is kind of just a triangle tucked in there. And then we're gonna go boop, boop. And it just kind of rolls into itself. Don't think too much about it. It's more of just like doing the action. Because like, look at my end kind of went ugly. But are we really going to care by the time it's baked? And then they said to just like fold the end underneath. Woohoo! It doesn't say to like poke a steam hole or anything like that into it, so we're gonna leave that. Should be able to pick it up. No problem, no holes. Keep that side up, and then we'll egg wash them before they go in the oven. Well, that wasn't hard at all. And FCB's in here with us now. Hello. How's your Wednesday? That was our first pasty. Okay, I liked how that worked. So let's just do the same thing again. And then the last one we make will have the carrots. Or maybe two. The last two we make, we'll put some carrots in them to see the taste difference later on. But definitely that was the right amount of filling. So we seasoned the vegetables and we seasoned the meat layer. I think it's gonna be so good. This is gonna taste like what grandma makes, right? Just like simple homemade food. I think the meat chunks are like perfect size. I should just leave the salt container open, I think. I'm so used to always like closing the containers from at work. Okay, now our water to glue the edge. I think like adding a few dried herbs in here would be amazing, like rosemary and thyme would go good with the beef. But we're going very traditional today. That might have been too much filling. Let's see. We're pushing limits here, people. Have to like flatten it a bit. I think as long as you can fit like a finger's width along the edge as we're crimping it closed, you're good to go. If you can't, you might have a bit too much filling in there. There we go. Right, because we don't want the filling to poke through the pastry. Okay, now flatten it down. And once we have the first 3 built, we'll put them into the oven so they can start baking. This one is like extra large. Hey, you saw that, Bob? It's Samo's. How did I crimp it so good the last time? This short crust is really nice to work with too. It's like pie dough, but not as delicate. Nice. Yeah, we did better not thinking about it. That one was very filled though. It was much easier to crimp it when there wasn't as much filling. Okay, first 2 done. Let's get the 3rd one so that Samo can walk into this glorious smell of it baking in the oven after work. I would make these along with like pies to sell. That would be a fun little business. Just pasties and pies. I think that's enough because I'm just trying to judge like how much meat is left for the other 3. I think that's perfect. Just like Sweeney Todd. Really? Okay, glue it up. Do we need a bit more potato on there? Maybe not. It looks a little empty. Okay. There we go. You know me, I like to push limits, okay? Kind of give it like a little nestling in so everything is like an even thickness for the filling. Nice. Okay, now go for your strong press. Okay. Kate and Sam's Pasties and Pie Hut. And maybe barbecue on Sundays. I don't know what it's gonna be. The first one I rolled was the best. This one, it's getting hard for me to get it to like seal up here. So that's definitely the photo worthy one. Look at this, guys. Those are the 3. The first one was literally the best. That's just me getting lazy. Okay, let's take our egg wash out. Get a pastry brush. I'm so excited. This is gonna give it a beautiful golden sheen when it comes out of the oven. I green? Hello, thanks for the follow. Nice even coating as well is really important. And we don't want too much egg wash to the point where the eggs are gonna bake into its own layer on the pan. That's not that appetizing to me. But I will also say, if you don't put an even enough layer of the egg wash, you will definitely tell the spots that you missed when it comes out of the oven. I think I'll set a 30-minute timer on these. And then we'll check them at that point. These are an inch smaller than what the recipe wanted for diameter, so it might also bake a little bit quicker. I guess we'll see. Say goodbye to the first tray, guys. Look at that one. Picturesque. Go like center-ish of the oven. Timer. $30 minutes and then bake 10. Good to go. I love Kent Rollins. You can't get full on fancy. I like that, Bob. Not going too crazy here. Okay, the last 3. Potato. Rutabaga. It really looks like I'm going to be making a soup or something from all the extra veggies and stuff prepped. Some onion. Seasoning. Yeah, less filling for the better crimp, but we care about more filling. So screw the crimp. You know how it is, Bob. We got priorities here, okay? And we want more meat. Okay, a bit more seasoning. They say when this bakes, it makes its own like gravy in there. So as long as you season it enough now, it's not going to be bland later. I'm thinking that we really did cut everything the proper size though. Like the recipe didn't help us out at all. I really need to move some of this over. We filled that one up. But yeah, this size that we cut it all looks great. There's a little potato there. See how they said to not have the potatoes on top because they might poke through? That makes sense now to me. I'm experiencing it firsthand. Yeah, it looks like when I made this, I made it with fish and chips and like mushy peas and stuff. We went like full on like UK style pub menu. So I get why the gravy was there for like the fish and chips. But yeah, nothing to say that you can't make a little gravy to have with this. I tried to do more than just one nice one. I think this one turned out pretty good. You can tell. Okay, that. 2 more. And these last 2 have carrots. How are we going to distinguish the ones that have carrots? Put a little carrot nub on top of the pastry or something? Holy shit. I gotta get the door for Samo. He's home. Put a C on it. That's what I was thinking. Like how they said the miners' wives used to put their initials into the pasty. So they knew whose was whose. You usually have gravy with them as well, but it's a little awkward. Yeah, right. So you almost have to like have like baby ladles to ladle the gravy into it. You pour the gravy in. See? I do that with my burritos too sometimes with the salsa. Okay, we gotta leave room for carrot, remember? Bonk! Oh my gosh, hi! Sam's looking at me like hell. Bonk's here. It's been 5 billion years. I'm happy you're here. LFG, people. 66 months in a row. We lined that up with the 67 and 68. I love it. Samo's home. He has meats. Holy shit. We also have White Dove redeeming a menu request at the same time. Lemon garlic roasted salmon, lemony orzo. What do you want from me? I'm not taking phone calls right now. Lemony orzo, asparagus pasta salad with a lemon meringue pie for dessert. That sounds delicious. Very summery. It's okay, Bonk. I mean, I've also been working a lot lately, so I feel ya. But I definitely have been trying to at least pop on like once a week. Keeping that still going. Okay, so always season the veggies in between the layers.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, you made it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pasty party. The lighting's getting a little crazy. What do we got to do? Come closer? Yeah, we got the sepia tone lighting, guys. The smoke. He's delivered all the goods. Is this going to be enough? Just enough for the next one? He left for work at 8:15 this morning. He is now home. It's 5:49. Okay, we need our glue. It's just water, don't worry, not actual glue. Hand pies are the shiznit. What did he steal from work? Well, I have some meat here from the butcher shop. I think there's an ice cream maker, and I don't know what the other things were. We'll check it out once the pasties go in the oven. We got one more to make after this. We already got 3 baking. It's so dramatic. I love it, yet it is. Okay, give this a little nestle so we can fit everything in here. These things are filled to the brim. I don't want to hear any complaints that I did not put enough in here. See, the carrot's already trying to poke out. Careful, careful. Every culture seems to have some sort of hand pie. It's true. Like I was saying, this is very similar to a calzone. I don't know how I got it, like, really rolling nicely. I was gonna show them the stuff that you brought. Just things are going in the oven first. Take a load off. Take a load off there, sir. Okay, last one. This was the piece that we rolled out the most. Worked the most. It got 2 rollings. Pizza pockets, I guess, yeah. Empanadas. Guys, it's true. Ooh. Someone's got new Dr. Bronner's soaps. Okay, I had to like kind of reshape this one. You see what I mean by like elastics into its own little shape? Chicken and dumpling pasty? That sounds good. I think I've seen like a pork and apple one before I was saying cookie. I can imagine like for a sweet filled one, like blueberry. Wow, would be so good. TJ Joker, you made chicken and dumplings and then you forgot you didn't have Bisquick to make the dumplings? So then what did you do? Okay, season. We literally have so much veggies left over. I think I'll be making chicken soup for dinner tomorrow after work. It's like perfectly prepped for it. Maybe even chicken and dumplings. You never know. Okay, meat stuff is done. Let's just get that seasoned. Three good crimps out of 5? I think so, yeah. Let's go 4 out of 6. That's not too bad of a percentage. That's still a passing grade, right? This one I have good high hopes for. It's not like super stuffed. I think I can trim a bit of this. Just like a bit extra there. That was the one I cut wider, just in case it did elastic back up too much. A jerk chicken pasty, that would be so good, Nike. Because like, yeah, they make Jamaican beef patties. That's another version of a hand pie. And then you just fold it under. Nice. I'm making Jamaican patties. We should. We should on stream one day. Okay, guys. That's how much stuff I have left. So that'll be soup tomorrow. Good to go. Back this up. Egg wash them up. Oh, shit. I think I can see which one has the carrot, actually. I forgot. Was it these two? I'm pretty sure it's those two. Because I can see the carrot here poking out. I just forget if it was this one or this one. But let's do a little C. For carrot. Oh, that's upside down for you guys. The other one's a surprise. Get the egg wash. Holy, 2 menu requests on the same day that we're already redeeming one? I cannot keep up. Spicy chicken and spicy beef Jamaican patties. I am in. I love that, caretaker. That's how easy it is to get that done and into the docket. Probably for the foreseeable future, that's all we're going to be doing on stream is menu requests. Thanks, everyone, for making my life easy. You can see us getting backed up. We've been backed up since 2018. Yeah, Bob just crushes another 5. As if I need that much external stress in my life, Bob, please. Done and dusted. We do still have Cubanos, because I am not giving up on that goal. I could have easily just sent it back to Eric, but I'm not giving up on it. It's going to be the first thing we make in whatever we end up getting. The one by the A had the carrots? Really? FCV? Those look amazing in the light right now. Okay, they're going in. The first ones look good. I'm going to move them up to the top rack now and put these ones on the lower one. And for that, do we need another timer? I'll have to set it on my phono. So that was about half. That was 15 minutes for the first ones already. Now we'll set 30 more minutes for the second tray. Let's see where we end up. Just gonna take this big thing out of the way. Oh, I got really gross and smoky out again. Oh no, the fire got bigger. Guys, I gotta pack up these onions because that's all I can smell right now. Nike says, I've tried Cabot Extra Sharp Vermont White Cheddar and Tillamook Extra Sharp White Cheddar, and you gotta favor the Tillamook. I mean, when we tried the Tillamook, it was so good. But I don't think I've ever tried any cheeses from Vermont. I trust you though, dude. Need to find a way to get pork bones. None of the butchers have them. Even you asking? Are you trying to make ramen? Wow, this fridge is packed. I can't really fit anything else in here right now. Tillamook is creamier. Good to know. I still can't get any access to that here in Canada. Yes, dear. Do a candlelit dinner. Cookie already redeemed one. Okay. This is what Samo got from the butcher shop on the way home. Skewers. 4 skewers for $19. What type did you get? He's not listening. Unknown.
The chimichurri beef ones.
Ooh, chimichurri beef skewers. Thai pork chops.
Yep.
Marinated pork chops, boneless. It's like thick cut, like pork collar, like that. And then they marinate them in Thai ingredients. So like shaved shallot, cilantro, coriander. So many good things. So that's dinner for later in the week. It's a shame because, yeah, I'm closer to Oregon than you are, right? What are they doing to me? Now what else? This is what Samo got for us. Dr. Bronner's. Does anybody use that soap? I honestly love it. And then the next thing is really big. So I'm going to open the box over here. And it is supposed to be for what we're making the ice cream base for, though. What could it be? Dear, please. I'm just going to grab a knife. Prix de Provence lavender soap. The stickers, yeah. Do not separate. So we have the lavender Dr. Bronner's right now, and then Sam ordered some other scents. Tea tree. Almond. And I think citrus. Yeah. Blue corn pure beeswax candles, must buy. Oh, I love beeswax candles. Like how sweet they smell. This is what we're trying from Prime Days. Sam's the shopper. I am literally innocent in all of this. I just get told things get bought, and then that's my life. Hippie, thanks for the raid. How was your stream today? And thanks for sharing your beautiful community over here with us. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
What did you guys get up to today? And welcome to our kitchen where there's things baking in the oven right now, our pasty. Samo just got home from work. He had a few packages and stuff for us to unpack. Hope you're all doing well, though. We're hanging out on this nice sunny Wednesday here in Canada. Who in chat likes ice cream? Oh my gosh, hi, me. Hi there. My name's Kate. I like to eat ice cream. You started some turkey summer sausage? How long is that gonna take to make? Do you have to let it like kind of ferment in the fridge before you case it? I've made a bit of sausages like that, but not a ton. Cookie, thank you very much subscribing at tier 2 for 74 months in a row. That is wild. Absolutely wild. These long-term resubs, I can't keep up with today. You're lactose intolerant? No. It's resting, then you smoke it Saturday and show it off on Sunday. I hope I can tune in after work. That sounds so delicious. Sam's dad sometimes sends us like a farmer's sausage from deer. It's so good. Okay, so this is the beast of a thing. Oh my god, it's heavy. Holy shit. That's an ice cream maker. That is way heavier than I thought it was gonna be. I make ice cream at work like every week. I probably make what? Close to like 10 liters of ice cream every single week at work. We have rotating flavors, but then we also have like our staple flavors as well as sorbets. So we have a ice cream trio that you can get or just buy the scoop, and then same with the sorbets, trios or scoop. So we got vanilla, dulce de leche made from like sweetened condensed milk proper, rum raisin to go with our sticky toffee pudding, and then our seasonal flavor, which it was strawberry mint, but I think we're rolling into apricot honey next for our ice cream. And then for sorbets, we got lemon, blueberry, strawberry. I made rhubarb. I made sour cherry sorbet last week. I think that's all right now. So I've always been super obsessed with ice cream and sorbet to like the point where when I was in culinary school, I really wanted to open an ice cream shop. But the thing is, like, the home quality ice cream makers take so long to churn that the quality of the ice cream itself isn't the best, from what I expect at least. The ice cream maker that we have at work can churn stuff in 20 minutes, but it's like so old. It's probably older than me, the machine, that like you can't buy it anymore. You probably can't even find parts really to fix it. So Sam was researching this. This churns in around 40 minutes. So like the thing with ice cream is you're always going to get a better product the faster it churns because your ice crystals are going to be smaller. So we'll test this out, see what we think of it, and then we'll let you guys know. So while these pasties finish baking, we're going to make a quick batch of vanilla ice cream base. It is so easy. And then I will have to let that sit overnight in the fridge, and then tomorrow I will churn some up after work. Sounds good, Samuel? A sorbet. Does anybody have that ice cream maker that can be like, yeah, that actually works really good, Kate? I think you'll like it. Okay. 5 minutes on the first pasty, but that's only half an hour. They said 50 to 55 minutes for the bake, so we'll see how long it takes. Ice cream recipe is not linked, but it's super easy. If you guys want to write it down, please go for it. 1 liter of cream, 8 egg yolks, 250 grams of sugar, and 2 vanilla beans, or like a teaspoon of vanilla. That's it. I'll get my vanilla. We'll get our sugar. We'll get our cream heating up with a bit of the sugar and vanilla. And then we'll crack our eggs and separate them while that's going. Super, super easy recipe though. And like Sam, I've been like feeding him some samples of ice cream as I churn them in the mornings, and he's like, that's the smoothest ice cream I've ever had. This is also something that I have taught one of our dishwashers to make. She's 14 years old. She can make ice cream bases for me, no problem now. I'm pretty impressed, honestly. Also, I just want to show, I don't know how it is in the States now, but we don't actually have 1 liters of cream anymore. It's down to 946 mils, so just a note on that. But I'm not buying a whole other liter just to bump up the last like 50-some grams. Let's get, what do I want to make this in? Just like a medium pot. I think will be good. That went everywhere, even like on my head. Whoops. Yeah, shrinkflation. It makes it very difficult for chefs, honestly. It's like when we're used to this being a leader, it's going to skew all of the recipes for us. It's very frustrating, honestly. Okay. Little drop of vanilla. Then I'll get our other camera set up and I'll put you guys over by the stove to watch this. Let's weigh out our sugar. And then 100 grams of the sugar goes in with the cream to heat up, and then the rest stays with the egg yolks. It is, what, 33? Yeah, so whipping cream. At work, we get 36%, which is amazing. But just a heavy cream. Has anyone tried ice cream from buffalo milk? No, but I did serve some burrata and peach salads at work this week. I was like salivating the whole time. It looked so good. Burrata and grilled peach. I don't even think, like, when I was in Italy, there was any like ice creams or gelatos from buffalo milk. More fat than cow, sheep, or goat. So whenever I put the sugar in with this, I don't usually measure it. I just usually go like bop, and then that's good to go onto the stove and we'll whisk it together. That was the 30-minute timer on the first pasty and the first 30 minutes of the pasty. Let's switch this so you can actually see something. I don't think they're done just yet. Look at how much that's puffing up though. Holy. But we're definitely getting there. I would say probably another 10, 15 maybe. And then that. I'll set 10 more minutes on the timer for that because I think they're getting close. Oat milk ice cream. That's probably so yummy and nutty, hey? I could see that being good with like a brown sugar style flavor. Okay, now we need a bowl. Sugar in, get rid of this stuff. Then we'll crack 8 eggs. So that's gonna go there for now. I'm gonna grab this if I can. Container. Crack all of our eggs in. These are gonna be farm eggies again. Gotta use them up. Put an ice cream recipe in Discord that includes marshmallow fluff, homemade caramel. Oh my goodness. Have you made that? That sounds so good. Wow. And chocolate ice cream. That's another one that I still have to make at work. Like, we don't just have a chocolate plain ice cream. Hi, Red Riot. Yeah, please join our Discord if you haven't yet. Scooter's back. You made a home safe, Scoots. Thank you so much, White Dove. I will definitely check them out more intensely when I'm done streaming. So now the goal is to crack our 8 eggs without breaking the yolks. Then we'll separate all the yolks out after. It comes out better than Ben & Jerry's fish food. What? Scooter, you had ice cream on Sunday? It's ice cream season. It's summertime. Bob. Holy! Look at the size of these eggs. Look at this one. That shit is not regulated. It even puts Tillamook to shame. Whoa, Vela. Those are strong words. This is going to be 8. Ooh, the last one looks interesting. The white. But we're not using the white, so it doesn't matter. And then I'm also going to turn on the pot behind us and give it a little whisk. Yay! And then we'll get the other camera set up. Thank you, Cookie, for the 999 bitlies. He evened it up to 15,000 bits out of 45,000, the goal. That is unreal, actually. Really, Vela? I love when that happens. You think the store-bought is going to be better, but then you just try to make it yourself and you're like, wow, why didn't I do this earlier? These yolks were very cold, as you can see. They are firm. Back of the fridge. Cold yolks. Strawberry cake is goo? Hello. Welcome in. Hands down the best chocolate ice cream you've ever had. Now I really need to make chocolate ice cream at work. I think tomorrow, I don't know what happened at work today. I haven't talked to Samo, got his briefing, but I think I gotta make a chocolate mousse for the cherry day event. Chocolate mousse with cherries. Yes, please. Okay, wash our hands up. I don't know if we're gonna get a little rain here tonight. Got some clouds blowing in. Chocolate hazelnut is so good, Melissa. You used to live an hour from the factory? What? Pack these up. I don't know what I'm gonna make. Maybe coconut macaroons? Or egg white omelet, meringue. We got options. We won't waste them though. Okay, next one. Before I get too carried away. Set up our other camera over here. Filipino leche flan. I keep seeing videos of people revealing their flans on like TikTok. And it's always like the happiest moment. Obviously when it turns out. Okay, this should connect to the computer. Let's see. Your favorite Milka bar is chocolate with whole hazelnuts. Let's take the whisk out of the pot now. Just giving it one more stir. And then we're gonna mix this egg yolk and sugar up. Who's doing this? Who did it? Cookie. Thank you very much, Cookie, for the $20 donation. Just a little more. We'll think of you when we go out for dinner next time. That's usually what that goes to. So a lot of people don't know that if you mix your egg yolks with sugar too early, it will actually start to cook the egg yolk. And it's really important that you get it evenly mixed too, not like clumpy. You made an ice cream of that, Scooter? Chocolate devil's food? Filipino leche flan made right is so awesome. I believe it. I like those desserts. Hi, Ninja Man. Oh my gosh. It has been forever. I hope you've been good. I've only been streaming like once a week lately. Usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Samo streamed on Monday though this week, so you got a bonus VOD. He made apricot and peach crumble with fresh fruit from the orchard from our friends. Look at that color. Looks fake almost. Not the egg yolk whisk everywhere. Why did it have to do that? It's like rolling out of the bowl. You just stay there. It yeeted itself out of there. Please. I know, I gotta ask Samo all this stuff from today. He's hiding. We need stories, man. He says he's not getting up right now. 5 minutes. Did this connect yet? No, it's being bad. Okay. One moment, I'm just gonna connect my phone on the stove top so we know what to look for when we're making ice cream base. Let's keep you here. Oh. That's not the stove. Excuse me? Oh gosh. We're not ready. Where's the stove cam at? Please, Graham. Please. Oh my gosh, we're here. We made it. Guys, thanks for the raid. What did you get up to today? Thanks for sharing your peeps over here. We're just finishing up. The timer just went off on the oven for the pasty. And we're making some vanilla ice cream base real quick while we're waiting. Hello, HQ Nguyen. Dardrian, not in Getty. Love it. A week who we know them. Just some tomato confit and furniture assembly. Do you have any updates for me since the last time I was over there? I feel like it's been a few weeks. Work's been a little crazy. Okay. Well, that was on and then it turned off again. We're just gonna leave it at that, I think. Let's check out the pasty, because you guys can literally see the pot right here. That's being bad. Tisk tisk. Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like there's meat juices baking onto the pan. Are they done? They're looking pretty done. I think the best thing we can do right now is take the internal temp. That's molten hot. I don't want to like wreck the pastry though and have everything come out. Where's the best place to temp it? Like by the crimping area? So we're looking for like a 165 Fahrenheit or higher. Guys, it's like 209 in the middle. They're done. So the crazy part about those is like they're hand pies, but everything in the middle in the filling was raw. Like raw beef, raw potato, onion, rutabaga, everything. So we really want to make sure all that stuff has cooked through, which I am assuming it has. If it's at 200 degrees internal. Someone gifted subbies? Thank you very much, FCB, gifting a sub to Nodding Yeti. It means peeling it off? Oh no. I got positive vibes here, Bonk. Still set in the house and office up. Turns out you moved into an abandoned house, but it's holding up well. What? That's like where we were before. Incorporating at the end of the month, so we're officially open for business. How fun! That's so exciting. They're gonna continue to cook for a few minutes, probably, and then we have another tray still in there baking. What's our timer at here? 2 minutes only. Okay. Okay. So those have to rest. The cream's almost up. I don't know if you can see the little bit of steam coming out of it. I'm gonna give it a stir. So we want to scald the cream but not boil it. I'm gonna say this is good. I'll hold it over here for you so you can see the steam. Because we're gonna put this back onto the heat after. So see how it's like steaming like that? To me, that's the perfect temp. You don't want it to get like all kind of curdly on top. So come back over and what we're gonna do is pour a little bit of this hot stuff. Can I do this safely with one hand? I need to put the towel on the outside. Into the egg yolks and sugar. Do like half or so. Like that. And then we're gonna give that all a whisk together. And then we're gonna pour it back into the pot. So the sugar makes a barrier so that the yolk doesn't scramble and cook on you. And then we'll put it back onto the heat now to make sure that everything is cooked through and that will have a really nice texture for our ice cream base. And yeah, I always give this a really good stir and stuff on the bottom because the egg yolks love to stick onto there. So then we'll come back over here. I usually, from here, will use a spatula so that we can clean out the bowl too. So get that ready. But maybe the silicone whisk will do the trick for me. So now whisk as you put it back in. See how it's super yellow still in the bowl? Clean all that goodness out. We don't see any egg yolk lumps that were cooked. So that's great. Oh shit, that's the other timer. For the pasty. And now, we're gonna have that on like a medium heat. And we're just gonna whisk this for like 2 to 3 minutes more. And that's it. We let it cool overnight. And then you can churn your ice cream the next day. Okay, so that was, what, the first 30 minutes? So now we're gonna rotate this tray. These ones have a couple different fillings. One has carrot, so we put a C in the top. Oh, look at those sizzles. So like 10 more minutes, and those will probably be good. Let's try to unearth one of those off of the sheet pan. First give this a stir, Then we'll get some plates. And a spatula. And hopefully we don't have to like peel it off. Here, I'll bring them over here. We'll do it together. The apron looks cool, thanks. This is from my friend Will's company, Search and Rescue Denim. All of it's handmade here in Canada, in Vancouver on Granville Island. And I think we still have a discount code. Yeah, thanks, Cookie. 15% off. You can make it like however you want. You can customize the straps, the shape, the canvas. You can make leather ones. He does it for like all sorts of different trades. Hairdressers, baristas, bartenders, woodworkers. Like the list could go just on and on, honestly. And yeah, I've worn these since 2014. Cookie, you have a couple, right? And yeah, they did have a 20% off code summer, like a week or two back. Not sure if it's still available or not. A lady at your local bakery has one. You should ask her. That would be so cool to know. Okay, lighting's a little crazy in here. I live in a very sunny part of Canada now. This one was Samo's though. That came off no problem. Look at the bottom. It's seriously perfect. It feels like kind of hollow. I love the sheen on it though from the egg wash. Wow. Scooter, the other one on the tray is for you. I also need a sip of water real quick. Let's see if I put the blinds down. It saved it a bit. It saved it a bit. Okay. Let me stir this. I'm getting carried away. It's honestly probably good. I'm just going to turn it off. Sam, are you coming to try this out? Recipe is linked under the recipe command, guys, if you want to make this for yourself. Yeah, do you send them on Uber Eats? It looks so good. I want to break it open with my hand. I just turned it off. You can just put it on the back burner. Wait, I gotta take a photo. Haha. Disconnected.
I can't wait.
Who remembers that from San Diego? Bob says, hello, cobbler man. Like a shoe cobbler? What?
Hello, Bob.
Hello, cobbler man.
But
What?
I made crumbles.
Oh, yeah. Ah! I think there's something crawling on my toe. I don't know. I had to scream.
That's your anxiety.
Yeah. It was crumble, but we get it.
Hey, Ninja Man, how are you?
Okay, so you don't really need a fork. I'm just going to break it in half and see what we have. That's it. JK, this is a beef pasty. There's tri-tip, potato, rutabaga, onion.
I don't probably eat that. I'll try.
Okay, up to you. He's scared of the onion. That's up to him. If you eat beef roast, it tastes the same. I love the flavor of the filling. Super fresh. It literally tastes like a beef roast inside. There's not a ton of gravy and stuff in there. Like, it's a little dry, so I can understand why people eat it with gravy. Mmm. It is a hot pocket. But everything in the filling is cooked. And we seasoned it nicely. Beef roast with a crunch wrap, almost. What are you doing?
I had a great.
Why?
I had to try one.
So you don't like that?
No, not my favorite.
Okay. More for chef. It's not like the onion's raw, it's cooked. He doesn't like onions really in anything. And I wasn't gonna leave it out, so it would be too bland. It's not even oniony. Like literally what we put in. More for me. Onions are like 80% of recipes. We don't have to get into it, guys. I'm eating it. That's all that matters. And I know everybody else is gonna like it too. I did really good cooking it though. Like
Yeah,
I was
you did.
unsure, but the filling is awesome.
The beef is great.
There's salad in the fridge if you want. Couple drops of hot sauce. So that's the thing, right? Is like once you have this, you can probably eat it however you want. I don't know what is super traditional like in Cornwall. I think you just eat it on its own, really. But it sounds like you guys have some great ideas for condiments and stuff. Your brother-in-law literally will not eat onions, so you get it. Yep. Are we still at the vineyard? We are. Yeah, this is where we work. If you want to check it out, really beautiful spot. High-end, like fine dining food. It's pretty expensive, but really, really well prepared. Just get some au jus. Yeah, we have a little bit more tri-tip. Don't worry, I'll roast up the rest of the tri-tip for Samo. Good thing we have extra. All right. 2 minutes left on the other ones. Pasties have been had. We need to get him fed with something now. Because he didn't eat the dinner that I made. I guess we're wrapping up, guys. Ice cream base is made. I'll let you know how it goes when I churn it tomorrow. Literally, the sun just left, so I can open this back up. Other than that, so sorry. Don't even be sorry. It's his own device.
It's okay.
It's his own wanting and not wanting.
There's ramen. There's eggs.
Yeah, you don't eat what mama makes. You can make your own.
I've been told that more than once in my life.
It's true. Yeah, sleep for dinner. Oh my god, we've all been there, right? Yeah, don't feel bad, guys. You can't love everything, right? Everyone's palate's different. But for this, like I said, if I left it out, it would have tasted so bland. And like garlic isn't the thing to put in either. I'm explaining it to them.
I understand that's the recipe.
Yeah.
You have to do the recipe sometimes.
We have to.
And it doesn't work for me. It's all good.
Hippie says, I'm still here for it, guys. He's been here for 2 whole years even.
Yeah, you have to go traditional.
What about the one with carrots? With the onion?
I'm not biting into another
What the heck?
Well, I bit yours. I bit mine.
This is the bite he took. What was the point of that?
Well, I bit it, and then you ripped yours in half, so I went to go try yours. Instead of...
The last ones are out of the oven. If only he knew that the crust was the throwaway part. You to bologna, Nike? That's how you eat bologna? Just one small bite? See? We all don't like something. I mean, if that was liver, right? Okay, guys, let's go see if we can go raid somebody as well, since we've had so many awesome ones today, too. I'll also give you the chef review tomorrow. I think he's gonna say it's a little too dry in the middle. I don't know. But we need the honest review, right?
He's gonna say it's not right.
Hi, Alti. Why is he gonna say it's not right?
Because it doesn't have skirt steak in it.
I can't find skirt steak. Chef can make them for us next time. Did I do the salad? I mean, it's done. It's just in the fridge ready to set up.
Kelsey's excited to have one tomorrow.
Yeah, they came and visited me on stream.
Yeah, I gave him my phone.
Oh my lord, what did I click? I literally didn't click anything. Who we got going on? Everything's freezing. Your little busy bee's moving. You sold your house and bought a new one? Are you still living in Ontario?
You have the same shirt? High five.
Yes, Fracta. Good night, Red Riot. I'm just trying to spread the love here a little bit before we go.
Oh shit, in Vernon. Getting closer to us.
That's close. What are you doing over here in our neck of the woods? That's exciting. Holy shit. Oh, not BC Vernon. Another one exists? No, it doesn't. I don't know who to raid today. Does anybody have any suggestions? We'll go raid Bentorius. He's doing some craft beer tastings. We've raided him before. You thought you were moving to BC too? That would have been amazing. Okay, guys. It is set up. Let's go spread the love and deliciousness around Twitch. We'll be back sometime next week. And I would say probably crossing off another menu redemption. We got to keep this rolling. That was so fun. Thank you, Yet It Is, once again, for bringing this into our life today. I hope that you are happy with how things turned out. I'm going to have another bite now that it's cooled off. That's so good to pack for like a picnic lunch. Man. Guys, thanks for everything today. All the resubs, donations, biddies, follows, raids. It all means something to us, and I'm just happy that you spend time here when you can. Other than that, I'm gonna hit this button. Let's go see Bentorius, and I'll send you on your way. You know where to find us if you need anything. Sam will say bye. Oh no, he's not here. I think he's starting the grill. Bye!